WMC Sports Men's Lacrosse Insider. I'm Steven Dilsizian, and it's tourney time, ladies and gentlemen, with your Maryland Terrapins taking the top overall seed as they look to take home the national championship this year after becoming so close last season. The tourney for the Terps will kick off this Sunday at 12:30 p.m. as Maryland will host Quinnipiac in the first round in College Park. Maryland enters the tournament as the hottest team in the country, with 13 straight wins and a Big Ten championship title under their belt. This may just be the most well-rounded team Maryland has had in quite some time, led by the shutdown defense that they've had all season long, allowing only 2 teams to score double digits this entire season. I was able to take some time and talk to junior attackman Dylan Maltz and sophomore attackman Tim Rotans about the upcoming tournament and their perspective.
It's do or die. It's that time of the year. Do the past results in the tournament stick with the team, or have you guys been able to really put that to the side completely?
I mean, it definitely stings. We got so close last year, but we didn't capitalize. But I mean, this year's a new year, and entering the playoffs for 0-0, and we just got to put our best effort forward.
What have the coaches been preaching to you guys heading into the tournament? Anything in particular?
Every day they tell us, they ask our record, and it's 0-0. You know, it's a new season. We understand that our 14-2 record in the regular season means nothing. You know, every team is good here. We got to prove ourselves every game. Every team's capable. You know, anything could happen on any day. So they remind us of that every day. They keep us humble, and we got to come out here focused and fly around every day.
Does anybody scare you?
We're confident, but we know anything can happen on any day. So we got to keep that in the back of our heads and just play our game, and hopefully we come out with a W every game we can.
Would you guys say that this is the best, most well-rounded team Maryland has had in a while?
I mean, we try not to think of that. We try to more think of like, yeah, I mean, our coaches are always humbling us and keeping us honest, making sure that no matter what we're doing in practice or how we're performing on the field, that the next day is a new day, and we got to give that effort every single day.
I mean, I'd say we have to prove it. You know, right now we're 0-0. We haven't won a playoff game, so to say that now would be just it doesn't make sense. You know, last year's team lost in the final in the championship game, so if we want to prove we're better than that, we gotta win that game and get there first of all.
Tim Rotans may have said it best. The team comes into the tournament with a 0-0 record, and anything can happen on any given day. Maryland can't afford to look over any team in this tournament simply because they wear this Terps uniform. Quinnipiac enters the tournament with a 12-3 record and a 9-game win streak of their own, but they haven't faced too many tests in their regular season, and nothing close to the caliber of this Maryland team. Quinnipiac's toughest test, their season opener against Brown, where they fell 20-7, putting up not much of a fight. However, this Quinnipiac team does have a strong faceoff man that could give Maryland some struggles. Coach Tillman mentioned that Austin Henningsen, the faceoff man for Maryland, has been battling an injury most of the season, but he's now ready to go and has shaken off most of his rust. That will definitely be an important matchup to watch come Sunday, and we'll see if the freshman faceoff specialist truly is back to his normal form. Henningsen is just one of the many freshmen on this Maryland team that has developed tremendously over the year and have made strides and an impact on this team. Head coach John Tillman had this to say about the development of the freshmen off the field, along with if last year's championship loss hangs on the team going into the tourney play.
Coach, the freshmen have developed physically tremendously over the season, but how have they developed mentally?
It's funny, you know, when you have some recruits on campus and they met them in the fall, our guys' heads were spinning, and so you'd say, hey, you know, how's it going so far? And the kids are like, oh my God. You know, like, you know, practice is really fast, and there's a lot of reading, and school's a lot harder. You know, I'm like trying to figure it out. And now you bring recruits around, and they're like, yeah, you know, it was really hard in the fall, but we're getting used to it. So they're much better at time management. They're much better on just in terms of being disciplined with their time and being where they need to be and realizing how important that stuff is. And I think things are starting to slow down. But our key for us, I think, with some of our freshmen, certainly a guy like Austin and Wes Janik, is just making sure they don't do the freshman fade where they have exams, they have a lot on their plate, and they're just exhausted. So you're trying to make sure you balance that with them, because you're going to need some of those guys, to get some W's down the stretch here.
And do you think, with the team's history in the past, do you think that comes into play? Does it stick in the players' minds at all? Does it linger around from last year's pain? Or do you think they've been able to put it away to the side and really just focus on now, and we can change this?
I think for our guys, they've seen some of the best and worst. With this group, they were all there in 2013 when Cornell kicked our butts, and it was a really ugly loss in the first round. So they've seen the quick exit, and then they've seen going, obviously, to the distance and not going there. I think they understand, the things you need to do to get out of the first round, and then obviously the things that can help you be successful down the road. So I think we can use that as, a little bit of advantage of how to manage this time of year. What worked well, what didn't work well, and how do we avoid maybe that first round meltdown that we had in 2013.
Sunday marks the last time the Terps will play in College Park for the rest of the season, and they surely will look to take advantage of what should be a large crowd. This has been Stephen Delcezian, WMUC Sports, your Terps, your station.